So, yeah, 38 saying about how we should surrender. Basically, surrender to the Supreme Lord. And not considering this body, just like the example of rope and snake analogy is generally given to distinguish between the matter and spirit. Of course, the Mayavadi generally use this philosophy of snake and rope, but it also applies to, also can be used in the sense how we are considering the material world to be a spiritual world. But one in reality can understand, one sees the snake as snake and rope as a rope. He doesn't have any fear, basically, of the material world. Rather, he engages everything in the service of the Lord. So then, after explaining this this is more of a knowledge, 38 and 39, Bhakti Mishra Gyan. Bhakti Mishra Gyan means Gyan is prominent with predominance of Jnana, but a little bit Bhakti is mixed in that. So that is called Bhakti Mishra Gyan. They explain all these processes. So, but when they saw, so understanding produced distaste for the words, so was me. It's like you are like Supreme Lord in quality. So when they mentioned that Prithu Maharaj was not very happy. So far he spoke about the path of bhakti mixed with jnana. Now he will now he will explain pure bhakti, which is the best path. So by seeing that Prithu Maharaj was not very happy with the kind of explanations, because a devotee always looks forward for the personality, his qualities, his form, his qualities, and opportunity to serve. So that's what they understood. Then they explained these two famous verses. By that, but by two verses, then they conclude their talk, and then Prithu Maharaj praises Kumaras. So he praises with various gratitude, basically. How can we, that is one of the famous verse. How can anyone repay, even desire to repay the personality who is giving us the Krishna consciousness? The famous verse there. So that's how he concludes this his talk. And then Kumaras depart from there, and then the ruling is explained. How Prithu Maharaj ruled the whole kingdom. Wonderful qualities are explained in the end. So that's so this. So this is just of course Prabhupada has explained a little more details, but these are different qualities that are just summarized in this table. Just trying to we'll see in the end. So his kingdom is Prithu Maharaj's kingdom is as good as Lord Ram's kingdom. That's what his reputation was. So much name and fame Prithu Maharaj has. So Ram Rajya. So generally people now also people say Ram Rajya. So that's how Prithu Maharaj ruling was also just like Ram Rajya. Okay, we'll go through verses.
Prabhuji, we have finished till 37, right? Or
We are till 37th we need to start, no?
yes,
37th,
37, I think.
37th I think we finished. 38th we will start, I think. 30.
Hmm. Shobha Lakshmi Mataji, 37 we have finished?
That 36 we finished, I think.
36.
Yeah, 36 only.
36. Okay.
36 we finished, yeah. 36 we finished. 37 will start. Okay. So as I was mentioning, this continuation where Prasant Kumar is explaining about. Mainly, he's explaining what? He's explaining how we should become detached from the material world and attached to Krishna. That is the main cause, the root cause for the ultimate benefit. So, how to attain that detachment from the world and attachment to Krishna? So, that is explained in various levels, deeper and deeper levels. So, in that continuation, we are reading these verses. So, he will come. Now, these are all more like jnana. Bhakti Mishra Jnana. Ave so asmi. So you are that. So that kind of a jnana kind of explanation is given. So then they will come to bhakti process. Tattvam narendra jagatam ata tattu ata tastusham cha dehendriyasu dishanatnabhir avritanam ya kshetravit tapataya hridi vishvagahi pratyakchakasti bhagavams tamavehi sosmi. Please read.
Sanat Kumar advised the king that
We are unable to hear.
Sachi Sundari Mataji, I think you can read. Sachi Sundari Mataji, you started already.
okay, Prabhuji.
Oh.
Sanat Kumar advised the king, therefore, my dear King Prithu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is living within everyone's heart along with the individual soul in each and every body, either moving or not moving. The individual souls are fully covered by the gross material body and subtle body, gross material body and subtle body made of the life, air, and intelligence.
Please read highlight also.
In this verse, it is specifically advised that instead of wasting time in the human form of life, endeavoring for economic development and sense gratification, one should try to cultivate spiritual values by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is existing with the individual soul within everyone's heart.
So how to detach from the material world and attach to Krishna? Slowly raising the platform of coming above from sense gratification, which is like animal life, as we are discussing. Raising from animal life to human life. Animal life means no dharma. Human life means dharma. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We read that how those four things are very important. And of the four, the three will be destroyed in due course of time. By the time destructive element is very destructive in nature. So it will destroy dharma or the kama, whatever we may do in this life. But the moksha element is very important for that which is permanent. Whatever we do for the cause of the moksha, liberation. That is permanent, that we need to endeavor. So that's what Prabhupada is continuing that theme from last verses. How human form of life endeavoring for artha and kama is not be just for that, but one should focus on or divert his endeavors towards self-realization. So how we need to go ahead? Yeah, one can go ahead with this kind of thought process. How Supreme Lord is existing in my heart, and I should be. In fact, I am the part and parcel. So I need to recognize him. I need to reciprocate with him. I need to develop relationship with him. So in that sense, one should endeavor more and more. So instead of wasting time in the other three things, one should focus on this aspect because that is aim of human life. That is the main thrust of these verses and Prabhupada's purport also. Uh, so he explains a little bit about Mayavad that I was mentioning, Tattvamasi, Sohamasmi. So all these are all, when they are saying, they are basically, they are scriptures. There are two vakyas, Veda and Abheda vakyas. Veda vakyas means there are clear statements that scriptures mention there is a difference between living entity and Supreme Lord. So how Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. So Nityo Nityanam Chetanas. This is Abheda Vakya. Nityo Nityanam. So we are also conscious, Krishna is conscious. We are eternal, Krishna is eternal. But Yo Viditati Kaman. But Eko Bahunam Yo Viditati Kaman. Eko Bahunam, Eka Bahunam of many plurals. Viditati Kaman. He is supplying or he is fulfilling the desires. So last verses also we have seen how. Oh, sorry, I think not here, but in Ishopanishad we were discussing how the quality is mentioned in Ishopanishad, seventh verse, I think. How Lord fulfills the desires of all the living entities. many places are explained that how eko bahunam yo vedati kaman. So that is the Veda Vakya. So like that, many Veda and Abheda Vakyas are there. So, but unfortunately, some people only focus on Abheda Vakyas, not at all considering the Veda Vakyas. So both has to be. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Bheda Abheda, Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Definitely, we are same in quality. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning here also. So, but from the point of devotees point of view, these mantras assert that both the Supreme Lord and ourselves are same quality. So that's the main point. And then Prabhupada, to support that statement and to explain more that statement, Kshetravit, what is used in this verse, he explains more deeply. Kshetra means our body, Vit means one who understands the body. So, yeah, both personalities are there, individual soul and super soul sitting within the body. Both are known as Kshetravit. Just like example, Prabhupada also gives, Acharya also gives that how. I think here only explains, or I think not here. Maybe somewhere else he gives another example how just like a king is there or a farmer is there. King and farmer are there. Farmer knows his own field. Farmer has his own field, whatever 1 or 2 acres, whatever he has. He understands his own field. But king has an understanding of all the fields, and he is the proprietor of all the fields. And the farmer has to pay the tax also to the king or whatever the land he has. So similarly, Kshetravit, I am also kind of rented. I am a tenant in this body. So Supreme Lord is a proprietor. So I only know this body, but Supreme Lord knows all the bodies. It's like, I mean, whatever Google I have in my laptop, and it responds according to my. I only know my own. It only responds to my own likings, etc., etc. But the Google server understands all the users, main Google server. So like that, Lord is also expanding in every individual, but He knows everyone. That's how Prabhupada explains the example of a land, field, farmer and a king, understanding. So similarly, Supreme Lord also knows everyone, Kshetravit. So, but one should understand the difference also, Prabhupada. Main point is that how Mayavadis interpret that I am only the super soul. But so then he explains the difference and how to perceive the presence of Kshetravit. When we perceived by anyone, by the fact that as long as individual soul and the super soul are both living with the body is always shining and fresh. So a practical understanding he gives this because just because the body is living means that there is super soul and soul. So that's how he explains the understanding. So the body, what is the difference? Just basic question Prabhupada is to put forward. So what is the difference between dead body and living body? All the chemicals are there, everything is there. If you want to put life air also you can put by oxygen. But what is the difference? Why it's not breathing now? It's a simple question, it's a logical question. So something which cannot be perceivable can be understood by symptoms. Especially human eye cannot perceive many things, but by symptoms we can understand the behind thing. The unseen can be seen by the external presence. So the unseen, the Supreme Lord and Soul, can be seen by the external symptoms. Just like in colleges, especially science, those who are into science stream, some presence of electrons, Coolidge, there is one experiment, X-ray cathode group experiment is there. How to see the electrons, presence of electrons. They will show some experiment and say the photographic light, they will hit an electron hits, light produces. So that's how light produces. The symptom is light producing. So because light is emanating from the photographic element, that shows an electron hit the photographic screen. So that is a symptom. Symptom is only seen. Electron is seen, no. Even the fellow who discovered electrons also cannot see the electrons because it's beyond perception. But symptoms are seen. So like that they conclude. So similarly, some things which not we can grasp, so need to be understood from the symptoms. That's what main point Prabhupada is giving. And then Prabhupada is concluding. Please read the conclusions.
In conclusion, one should not waste his time by so-called economic development and sense gratification, but should cultivate spiritual knowledge to understand the super soul and the individual soul and their relationship. In this way, by advancement of knowledge, one can achieve liberation and the ultimate goal of life.
Yeah,
Talking,
down. This one.
it is said that if one takes to the path of liberation, even rejecting his so-called duties in the material world, he is not a loser at all. But a person who does not take to the path of liberation, yet carefully executes economic development and sense gratification, loses everything.
Hmm. So people may ask that you are talking about spiritual world, this and that, and what about this world and sustaining life? We are working hard, responsibilities and all. So what about the duties of this world? For that, Prabhupada is answering yes, surely. But if one is taking the path of liberation and rejecting all so-called duties, is not loser at all. That's what Shastras recommend also. But on the other hand, if a person is taking to all the activities very, very carefully at the same time, at the same time is rejecting and not at all focused on path of liberation, and he's lost. He's lost. Just Abrahama Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. So that's the main point here. Prabhupada is emphasizing that definitely we can be responsible in this world, but at the same time we need to focus on the ultimate purpose. But supporting that verse, famous verse, he quoted that how one will not be loser just by focusing on spiritual life. Okay. So continuing the same theme that Satish Maharaj said that we should surrender unto the same Supreme Lord in the heart. Yasminnidam sadasat atmataya vibhati maya viveka viduti sajivahi buddhi tam nityamukta parishuddha vishuddha sattvam pratyudha karma kalila prakritim prapadye.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself as one with the cause and effect within this body, but one who has transcended the illusory energy by deliberate consideration, which clears the misconception of a snake for a rope, can understand that the Paramatma is eternally transcendental to the material creation and situated in pure internal energy. Thus, the Lord is transcendental to all material contamination. Unto him only must one surrender.
Continue.
This verse is specifically stated to defy the Mayavad conclusion of oneness without differentiation between the individual soul and the super soul.
So basically, same theme continues how by knowledge one should be able to discriminate between soul and super soul, and also at least first of all accept the presence, as Prabhupada is establishing previously on practical level, how there is a life behind this body, soul, and the soul exists because of the super soul. So by understanding them and understanding the difference between them, one should carry on spiritual duties of surrendering unto Him, and all activities are in relation with Him. So in that, by doing that, then one can clear the misconception of a snake for a rope. So no need to fear at all about this mrityu, about this janma mrityu jara vyadi, and about this world also. Otherwise, everybody is in shoka moha and bhaya. So this shoka moha and bhaya are always for the past, present, and future. Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, or one is troubled by all these three. So one will be crossing over by surrendering unto the Lord. One can definitely cross over all these three things, and one will have right conception, not misconception. Prabhupada explains more about Vivartavad and Parinamvad. Our Vivartavad is about Mayavad philosophy. Everything is Brahman. But Parinam means it's evolution. God has various energies. So that is the main aspect of Prabhupada establishing. So by the word prapadye, sharanam prapadye, generally we say many, many verses, sharanam prapadye. So anyadha sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama deva deva. There sharanam word is coming. Prapadye, prapannam. So this word is especially used for to say that I am surrendering unto you. Aham
Prabhuji, I have a
prapadye.
question.
Yes.
The first line of this translation, the Supreme
Mm.
Personality of Godhead manifests himself as one with the cause and effect within this body. So, what does that mean? The first line.
Cause and effect. He is the cause of this material creation also. His body, cause and effect within this body. He is the cause. He is the one cause right now. How the body generates, how the body generates, how the body is given. What is Atmataya being root of all cause and effect. So yasmin idam sadasat Atmataya vibhati. So that's what Prabhupada translating here as Supreme Personality God himself as one with the cause and effect within this body. So he is the cause of this body in the sense so that Maya, his energy, Maya Shakti gives us the body. Maya Shakti means our Prakriti. Prakriti gives us the body. Prakriti is but a Upadan Karan, means the material cause. But the Nimitta Karan is the Supreme Lord glance, right now. He's also cause of producing the bodies. So in that sense, he is the cause and effect. So effect in the sense he is within the body. He is also expanding himself. So he is also there within the body, right now. As a Paramatma, he is also expanding and coming and staying. He is always staying in the body. In the body, in the sense with the soul, but he's also there next to soul, present in the body. So in that sense, both is a cause and effect within this body.
So, what was the effect, Prabhuji? It's just that the Lord is manifest like within the body. That is
Lord
the.
is manifesting. Lord Sadasat is mentioned as Sat Asad, the Supreme Lord and his different energies. Sat is taken as Supreme Lord. Asat means his different energies. So, so all these are happening because of him only. Cause and effect, being the root of all cause and effect. So
So,
effect
can we say effect
effect we
is
are seeing in the
the very
sense that he is manifesting himself within our body.
what I was thinking was effect means various activities of the body. Uh,
Effect means
that means you can see that all living entities are working
uh,
in various ways. So that can
correct.
be, as you know, said as the effect, and cause can be ultimately both is the Lord only, right? What the cause of the material body and what the activities the material body are doing. Can we say like that?
Yeah, effect also in that sense also. So you are saying the cause of our activities, the results of our activities. You are saying.
Ultimately, yeah, I mean, the God is the, cause and effect, that, so that was my doubt was like, that cause and effect within the body. What is that cause? What is that effect? Cause we can understand. Lord is the only cause of the material body. But what is the
Yeah.
effect?
So the effect, see, especially here, the verse is saying that yasmin nidam, this sat asat, as Prabhupada translates, atmamaya vibhati, atmataya vibhati. So as sat means Supreme Lord, asat means different energies. For both of them, he is the cause and effect. In the sense that he is causing, and effect means he is there in the after creation also. He is manifesting in the creation.
Yeah, yeah,
So in that sense also we can take it as effect.
yeah.
Well, generally effect means say once the reaction is over, then what comes out is the effect now.
Correct.
So yeah, he is the cause and he is effect. In the sense he is also creation. Creation is doing, is the cause of creation. At the same time he is also what manifested from the creation. That is also in one sense him only. The energy is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole world. The whole world also him only. It's just like whole world also is different energies, not different from him. That is also him only. But those people who are in illusion, they think this is mithya and this that is Brahman is Satyam. So that is the main point expressed here. That those who are in illusion, they consider this is as a simply a snake. And when we realize, when we should understand beyond going this illusion, one will understand, oh, there is no snake, there is only rope only. Why you are fearing? So everything is Brahman. There is no need to Shoka, Mohan, Bhaya. You are the same Supreme Lord. That is their Mayavadi conclusion. But from our point of view, the cause is Supreme Lord, the effect, in the sense, the whole world, in one sense, is also Supreme Lord. And when we see the connection and apply in the service of the Lord, then we don't have any Nashoka, Mohan, Bhaya. So like that, the cause and effect are explained in this verse. Cause is Supreme Lord, effect in terms of manifestations, energies. And especially when Prabhupada translates within this body, it can apply, as I mentioned, that he is also there as super soul within our body. So in both ways we can understand. Translation appears to be a little more paraphrasing within this body. The Supreme Lord manifests himself as one with the cause and effect within this body. But one who transcended the illusory energy by deliberate consideration, which clears the misconception of snake for a rope, and understand that the Paramatma is eternally transcendental to material creation and situated in pure internal energy. So effect, as Prabhupada bringing out, the effect is also Supreme Lord as Paramatma is there in the heart. You're getting that?
Yes, yes.
So the cause is the body, is Supreme Lord. Effect as a Paramatma is there within the body, but only one who crosses the illusion and one who understands the actual fact, this body, how Lord creates different energies and how he expands. For him only he can able to see Paramatma beyond this body. So like that. Okay, sorry to have some technical details.
No. Thank you, sir,
Okay,
Prabhu. You answered the question very well.
correct. In various, actually, when the different words are explained by different acharyas, different levels. Sadasad, when they talk about, they at different levels and different explanations are given generally. So especially here, translation and word meaning a little, of course, Prabhupada is more elaborating on the same point. Same point, little more elaboration is given in the translation. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we are discussing basically prapadya, the prapadya word that we need to surrender. The sharanam. Om Janmanti Gnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Prabhupada is quoting from prapadyate word. So they take shelter. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That is also quoted. So that surrender word itself implies that one is subservient, subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, where is the question of surrender? That's what he mentions in this. Please read this one.
Unless the Lord is superior to the individual soul, there is no question of prapadya or surrender unto him. This word prapadya refers to the process of devotional service. Simply by non-devotional speculation on the rope and the snake, one cannot approach the absolute truth. Therefore, devotional service is stressed as more important than deliberation or mental speculation to understand the absolute truth.
So basically, bhakti need to be practiced. So how to practice? What is that bhakti? So this is explained here now. So initially till 22nd verse started from 17 to 20, starting with this 22. So there 17 started the conversation. Till 40th it goes conversation. But the main point started at 22. They're explaining about Jnana Mishra Bhakti and then Bhakti Mishra Gyan. In these two verses, last two verses, more of a Jnana, but little bit Bhakti in the sense of Prapadya. So you should understand the Supreme Lord as a Paramatma and surrender unto Him. So generally their goal is just to merge. They use Bhakti as an element to cross beyond this world and merge in Brahman. So, but as we discussed that how understanding, seeing the face of Prithu Maharaj, he is not very much just like when we don't like some item, we have different face. Especially children has very emotional expression when they don't like something. So like that Prithu Maharaj was expressing, and they could understand that he was not liking very much our explanation like this. So then they said, okay, let us discuss about pure bhakti. So since he had the pure bhakti in the mood of a servant and nothing else, Sant Kumar now speaks pure bhakti by which one achieves prema. So in which liberation is secondary effect. So he glorifies bhakti as the best process in two verses. Ultimate Shreya, Kshemasya Hetu, Prithu asked in the initial question. So this is the conclusion. By this only one can attain the ultimate benefit. यत्पादपङ्कजपलासविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः त्वद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्धा श्रोतो गणास्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम्.
The devotees who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva.
So, do you have a personal copy there or you are seeing the screen?
Oh, I have a personal copy, Guruji.
Can you read? I'll just plug in my charger. Can you please read the first paragraph?
Okay. Yes, Guruji. There are three kinds of transcendentalists trying to overcome the influence of the modes of material nature: the jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. All of them attempt to overcome the influence of the senses, which is compared to the incessant waves of a river. The waves of a river flow incessantly, and it is very difficult to stop them. Similarly, the waves of desire for material enjoyment are so strong that they cannot be stopped by any process other than bhakti yoga. The bhaktas, by their transcendental devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, become so overwhelmed with transcendental bliss that automatically their desires for material enjoyment stop. The jnanis and yogis who are not attached to the lotus feet of the Lord simply struggle against the waves of desire. They are described in this verse as Rikta Matayaha, which means devoid of devotional service. In other words, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to be free from the desires of material activities, actually become more and more entangled in false philosophical speculation or strenuous attempts to stop the activities of the senses.
So here Prabhupada explains more about the difference between jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. How everyone is endeavoring, right? Everyone is trying to, especially these three are considered like transcendentalists, trying to cross over this ocean of material existence, but they cannot, as the verse itself is mentioning, that Twadvanna riktamatayo yatayopi ruddha. So, but those who are attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, bhaktya, with bhakti, so they can karmashriyam grititum udgritayanti santaha. Santaha, the devotees, they can immediately uproot all kinds of karmashriyas. They uproot all kinds of desires, hard-knotted desires for sense enjoyment just by engaging in service of the Lord. Pada pankaj palas vilasa bhaktya. By bhakti, by glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord, by glorifying his pastimes. So they can do that, but those who are opposed to that, Riktamataya means how it translated Riktamataya, persons devoid of devotional service. Opposite. Then, even though they may be sannyasis, Yatayaha is ever increasingly trying. So by endeavoring also they are unable to do it. They cannot do it. So, but what should Bhaja Vasudevam, one should worship just, so you just worship Vasudeva. Do devotional service to Vasudeva. So that's what they are saying to Hitu Maharaj. So you are best situated, you are already situated in devotional service, so please continue. So this is the best process to overcome all kinds of hard knots of desires. So then Prabhupada very elaborately explains, very big purport. He gives a beautiful analogy. Yeah, please read this. So stopping the desire for material enjoyment is very difficult, but how to go about that? So then Prabhupada answers that one.
As long as one is unable to stop the desire for material enjoyment, there is no possibility of becoming liberated from the entanglement of material existence. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, continue. These two.
It may be argued that the waves of a river are incessantly flowing and that they cannot be stopped. But the waves of the river flow toward but but the waves of the river flow toward the sea. When the tide comes over the river, it overwhelms the flowing of the river, and the river itself becomes overflooded, and the waves from the sea become more prominent than the waves from the river. Similarly, a devotee with intelligence plans so many things for the service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness that stagnant material desires become overflooded by the desire to serve the Lord.
So this is a beautiful Prabhupada bringing out such an amazing aspect to how to overcome all these material desires. How everyone is troubled by all these desires that are just like waves that are coming in the river. But Prabhupada is saying that let the ocean tides come and overcome the waves of the sea, waves of the river. So the tides of the ocean are compared to what here? What are the tides of the ocean and waves of the river compared to here?
Prabhuji, tides of ocean is the wave of devotional ecstasies, and
Ah,
tides of the river are the material desires.
may not be waves of ecstasy immediately now, but at least planning for the service of the Lord. As Prabhupada mentioning here, a devotee with intelligence plans so many things for the service of the Lord. I will go to temple, I will chant, I will read, I will do services, I will whatever, worshipping the Lord, offerings to the Lord, decorating the Lord, hearing kirtans, hearing lectures, planning basically, planning and also executing the plans.
So Prabhuji, can
Various
we say
things.
like the Nishtha and above Nishtha stage like Ruchi? Can we say like that
Which,
at least?
which this one?
The
Yeah.
planning, Nishtha,
uh,
and another Nivritti has happened, and Nishtha, Ruchi,
Actually,
something else.
actually, they have their own qualities. And Nishta level means there are different qualities are explained. What is the stage Nishta is called in Bhakti, in Madhuri Kadamani, Vishnu Jagat Thakur gives some symptoms of Nishta's personality. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though we have anarthas, at anartha nivritti also one can plan many things. But as Prabhupada mentioning here, so one should try to plan so many things that we are not disturbed by these waves of uh, material desires. So that means we are endeavoring to overcome anarthas, come to Nishtha level. Yeah, when the Nishtha stage comes, the Nishtha stage is given an indication that in the first canto, second chapter, the stages are explained. The verse is there how तदा रजस्तमो भाव कामलोभा चेतयेतैर अनाविद्धम स्थितं सत्ते प्रसीदति. So चेतयेतैर अनाविद्धम स्थितं सत्ते प्रसीदति. That is called Nishtha stage. तदा रजस्तमो भाव. So this Raja and Tama, all these are basically material desires will more and more overflowing in the heart because of Raja and Tama. But when one comes to Nishtha stage, that Sattva platform is so high. Chetayet anaviddham. Anaviddham means piercing, just like one is stabbing with a knife. So our Chetana, our Chitta, our consciousness is not pierced by these desires of passion and ignorance. Okay, laziness or postponing things or material passion, greediness or many other desires are not piercing the heart, but they are there. They are there, but they are not affecting the personality, affecting our activities, affecting our services. So that stage is called Nishta stage on a practical level. So he's planning and he's executing, and though at the background sometimes one is the lingering desires may be there, but he's not affected by those desires. So that is more of a Nishta stage. That verse is actually the 9 stages are compared to those series of verses in the first canto, second chapter. I think some series 12 to 24, I think, where all these stages are explained. In Nardamuni section also that is explained, and here also explained. Yes, Nishta means basically we are not disturbed, rather we are more and more making plans and executing them also. Not only we are planning, but we are executing them without being disturbed. So
So
that's how
Prabhuji,
we,
to
yeah,
churn a little there because this is very important for our practicing devotees. So
yeah.
when Prabhupada says, similarly, a devotee with intelligence plans so many things for the service of the Lord that the
Mm.
stagnant material desires become overflooded by the desire to serve the Lord. So personally, I am not experiencing this in my life. So, so rather, our Rishi Kumar Prabhuji once in the counseling meeting, he was talking various stages of devotional service and about the Ghanatarala, that is one stage.
Yes,
And then
correct.
after crossing that, one slowly comes to maybe this stage. Is this thought correct, Prabhuji?
Actually, there
Madhuri
is no secret. Yeah, he mentions the 10 things that which are, I'll just show that document, maybe a few minutes. Yeah, but basically, okay, if you go there, then it will be, yeah, the different stages he gives. First he gives, I think, Nima Kshama, then Ghanatarala, as you mentioned, Ghanatarala. Then it goes to few stages. Not exactly, it's not mentioned like a sequential stages. These are all like a symptoms. Before Nishta, this will disappear. That's what he mentions. Before Nishta, all these things, Vyuda Vikalpa, Dhanatarala, Nimakshama. So then one who is maintaining his vows. So Tarangarangini, one is not enjoying the benefits of his own devotional service, name, fame, expert skills, talents. Krishna is manifesting through the devotee. I mean, what is it called? Tarangarangini. Tarangarangini means his tarangas are coming, wonderful tarangas, but he's not taking pleasure in them. So all these can come at various stages. This is not sequential, but they can come at various different levels also. But these has to be overcome before Nishta. Before that, as I mentioned, the other five are there Nishta.
Prabhuji,
Mm.
can I
Yes.
interrupt you? This anarthas, as Prabhuji has said, I just opened that PPT which we made down there. Anarthas are four classes according to the origin. Duskritanath anartha, Sukritanath anartha, Aparadhanath anartha, Bhaktya anartha, and then in Duskritana also there are five types: ignorance, false ego, attachment, hatred, addiction.
Yeah. I said anarthas, definitely those anarthas, different various categories are given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The different levels of anarthas are mentioned.
Actually,
I'm
probably
just,
what I read is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. That's Madhurya Kadambini.
are you seeing my screen?
Oh, yeah, now I'm.
Yeah, we are seeing, Prabhu.
See here, Anartha Nivritti. See,
Correct.
Dushkrutota, Skrutota, Bhaktiyotta, Aparadokta, anarthas are there initially. See here, Anartha Nivritti, this part. So these four are there. That one, see, basically, the more we go ahead in Bhajana Kriya, the Bhajana Kriya we need to focus on. But at this stage is Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. So the Bhajana Kriya, what currently is going on, Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Because of
Correct.
Anartha, the Bhajana Kriya is Anishtita, is not very stable. Sometimes we are Utsaha, we are greatly enthusiasm, sometimes no enthusiasm. Ganatarala, we are little bit here and there.
Vyuda Vikalpa indecision, all
Juda
this.
Vikalpa. Yeah, we are very, what to say, duality is there. Juda Vikalpa. This I have to do, or that I have to do. Which one I have to do? Whether I should chant 32 rounds every day, whether I should 16 rounds every day. I should read every day 2 hours or half an hour. Whether I should go to temple every day or not go to temple every day. So many things are coming up and down. So Vida Vikalpa or Vishaya Sangara, struggling with all the desires, as I was mentioning. Vishaya Sangara, Niyamakshama, he is unable to keep up the vows. And Tarangarangini is enjoying the mundane benefits of the bhakti. So these are all will come as when one is doing bhajan kriya. All these things will manifest, and this has to be overcome. So this will produce anarthas. I mean, bhakti is not producing anarthas. One should not consider bhakti is producing anarthas, but bhakti is churning the heart. Just like a dirty room is cleaned, so dust will rise. The dirt is there already in the room. But the process of brooming and cleaning is making it appears to be more, becoming more, but it's already there only. So nothing is increasing unless one is adding dirt. So these things will slowly we have to overcome. In Bhajan Kriya, we will overcome. In Bhajan Kriya, these are the main obstacles. Utsahamai, Gantarala, Vidavikalpa. When we are chanting, when we are reading, when we are hearing, when we are discussing. So these are all different anarthas will come in Bhajan Kriya. So from starting from Bhajana Kriya till Nishta, all these things has to be overcome. That is the main point of him. All these things from Utsahamaya, all these six first, and then all these aparadhas, starting from Duskurdota, Sukurdota, Bhaktiyotta, and Aparadota. All this will overcome. See, our focus should be on practicing bhakti. These will keep on, I mean, the cleaning process goes on internally. But we need to be aware that what all things are coming out, how to handle them, and how to take help from other devotees, etc., from Shastra, from devotees, from counselors. These all things will keep on coming, and we need to keep on cleaning out. So before Nishta comes, he says that these things also should go on. The last five obstacles before Nishta, he says. So this is the point that laya, drowsiness in chanting or hearing or reading, or while katha is going on, the drowsiness, vikshepa, distraction, we are thinking something else. Pratipatti, Though we don't have drowsiness and distraction, but no attraction. No attraction to Lord, no attraction to hear the Katha of the Lord. Kashayam, all the contamination, sometimes it may come out even while chanting or while taking darshan, etc. Rasaswad, we have mundane taste lingering around. So all these things will go as the one grows ahead from Bhajana Kriya to Nishta. Then our Bhajana Kriya becomes Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. Till now it's Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Now when all these things are gone in the background, then it becomes Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. It means though they may be a little bit there, but they will not disturb our bhajana or at the process of service or whatever. So then it's called Nishtha stage. Okay, no. So if you go here again, we will not able to complete now. But that is a
So,
general.
Prabhuji, this is the
Yeah.
great advantage of hearing Bhagavatam from, great teachers like you. Little bit
Yeah.
churning and the nectar comes. So please, Prabhuji, we need that nectar which you just shared. Just one image, everything you have shown. So please share that.
Yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it to you and you can share.
Actually, Madhuri
That's
Kadam is very long.
uh,
It will take sessions to take Madhuri Kadam.
Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah. That book is itself very short, but Madhur Kadame, our Vishwanath Chakravarti is very amazing personality.
In Chennai, here, Bhanu Maharaj is
Okay,
there. So once in a year, there is Shravana Utsav. Over
correct,
3-4
correct.
days, there is sessions of lectures. So I think 2 years
Yeah.
before Maharaj took this book and gave 4 classes on that, on Madhuri Kadam.
Yeah.
Very
At
good.
least once in a year, we can hear something about Madhur Kadamani because it gives more practical map, overview of map, our map, Google Map. Where is my train? It will show. Whenever we get into train, we always see where is my train. So that's how we need to also see where is my Bhakti train is going ahead. It's going ahead towards Golak Vrindavan or somewhere else is going. So we can check. Okay, so these are all some things that we need to work on. So the more we plan, see, that's what our main point is, that we should not be fearful of all those things what is mentioned. Of course, for analysis purpose, he mentioned all these things will come. But generally, when they come, we generally become disturbed, fearful, and hesitating to take more serious commitments, vows, etc. Some guilt is there, something. So many things will come in heart. So, but one should focus on more and more on Krishna consciousness. So just like a fire, when we start a fire, so we need to increase the fire. So sometimes, as Prabhupada mentions, that somebody puts water on that. Pouring water means basically we are unable to follow rules and regulations properly, or we are low in our enthusiasm and trying to dampen the fire by not following properly both positive and negative rules. So that's we need to be a little careful what to do and what not to do. So Prabhupada is mentioning what to do here in order to overcome all kinds of uh, negative things. So the more we plan, the more we can overcome other desires. So that's the main point of this verse. Yatpada pankaj palasa vilasa bhaktya. Actually, there's a various commentaries, wonderful commentaries there. How what is verse? What is words? They reflect that pada pankaja, this lotus feet of the Lord, they are compared to lotus flower, and palasa is like a leaf. Palasa is like a leaf. How translates Prabhupada translates? Palasa petals. So palasa, the lotus leaf, are toes. So when it comes to pada of Lord, it becomes a toes. Toes of the Lord, shining. Vilasa is like an enjoyment or shining also. So the shine of the Lord, one should bhaktya. Bhaktya means one should remember the Lord. Smritya. Bhaktya reflects to smritya. One should keep on meditating on the shining effulgence of the lotus feet of the Lord. That is one explanation. Pada pankaj palasa vilasa means the Lord's lotus feet traverse the track of Vrindavan. He performed so many pastimes, wonderful pastimes by his lotus feet. going around vilasa. He did so many vilasas, enjoyment, activities. So one should meditate on those activities of the Lord. Bhaktya means he's meditating on that activities of the Lord. So, and one more understanding is given that how just by performing, chanting, dancing, and feasting, this is also considered like a Lord's special mercy for the devotees. And when we do with a devotion, this also can root out all karmashyam gridam kritayant santaha. They can also, they had that potency is there to root out all kinds of these desires from the heart of the devotee, heart knots. So we need to more and more focus on aspect of engaging ourselves. So we need to plan, then we can engage. So planning, so when we desire and then we plan and then we execute. So last time we were discussing about the desires, how we need to desire more and more. So those desires are compared to tides of devotion. So the more we desire, the more we plan, or the more we execute the plans, then all those things will subside, all other things. Then we experience the bhakti more and more. Yeah, that's Prabhupada's main point. Here also, it's a beautiful example. Prabhupada concludes with that Yamunacharya's how he's saying that I spit at the thought itself because I'm tasting the nectar of the meditating on the Lord's pastimes and remembrance of the Lord. Paramdrishtvani Vartate. Please read the conclusion.
The conclusion is that by developing a loving desire for the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, we subdue all material desires for sense gratification.
So this is the only process. There is no other process. No need to find any other process. We need to increase our intensity and plans for the service of the Lord more and more, absorbing ourselves. Otherwise, there is no question of any overcoming these desires of the material desires to developing taste, developing attraction. Or before developing attraction, we may say we don't have attraction. At least I am. At least for that we need to plan. As Gita 12.8 to 12, Krishna mentions, Mayyeva manadastva mayi buddhim niveshaya niveshasya mayyeva ato urdhvam samsaya. You are just absorb in me. Krishna, how can I absorb? My mind is simply a rascal. Oh, don't worry, you just do at least sadhana. Abhyasa yogena. Ataitat apek asaktosi. So then if you are unable to do, then at least abhyasa yoga yuktena. So then try to practice devotional service. By that you develop a desire to attain me. Mamip chaptum dhananjaya. That's what Krishna is giving different levels also for us. So basically we need to plan, desire, and then execute. Okay, so bhakti is glorified here in these two verses. Next verse is saying about how others we cannot cross over, but only by bhakti to the Lord one can easily cross. Same meaning, but in a different words. Krishro mahaniva bhavarnamaplavesham षड्वर्गनक्रम असुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिं कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम्.
The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers.
So, Shadvarga Nakram. Nakram is like a crocodile. Shadvarga Nakram is mentioned six senses. Shadripus also we can say. Last time I referred. Shadripu are six senses. Five senses plus including mind. How we are all caught with this Just like Gajendra was caught by that crocodile. Jalasaye. No, I think this is a different verse. Magna, okay. Antarjale graha grihita pado. So Antarjale graha grihita pado. Antarjala, inside the waters, graha, it's also nakram. Nakra and graha both are same, crocodile. Antarjale graha grihita pado. He caught up the leg of Gajendra. Antarjale graha grihita pado. विकृष्ट विशिष्ट समस्त बंधु. Viklishta Vishrishta Samasta Bandhu. Bandhus, there are so many relatives are there on the shore of the that lake. Gajendra had so many families and children are there and wives are there, but everybody could not do anything. Tata Gajendro Nitaram Jagada Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. That time that Gajendra called out, Hey Govinda, Hey Madhava, Hey Damodar. That's what Bilamangal Thakur is saying in his Govinda Damodar Stotra. So, Antarjale Graha Grihita Pado Visrishta Viklishta Samasta Bandhu Tadha Gajendro Nitaram Jagada Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So, how we are also caught up with this six senses or six Shadripus or the Ripus, the enemies, and how we are suffering in this ocean of Bhavaranam without any boat, Aplavesham, Krishron Mahan, very troublesome, Mahan, it's a great troublesome ocean of material existence because of this Shadripus or Shadvarga, six senses, Shadindriyas. Asukena Titishanti, it's very difficult to cross over. But what we have to do? Harer Bhagavato Bhajaniyam Angrim. So when we take shelter of the boat, what is that boat compared to? Putrodupam, Krutvodupam. Udupam is boat. When we make the boat, what is the boat? Bhajaniyam Angrim. Bhagavata Bhajaniyam Angrim. So when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord's message, that is compared to boat, then we can easily cross over. Although ocean is very difficult to cross, but we can easily cross by this glorifying the Lord. So that's a beautiful analogy comparing to when we take shelter without boats. I mean, especially when the lake is crocodiles and all, it's very, even to go near only it's difficult. I think one time in Atra there was everybody is taking bath in I think in Karnataka at Hanuman's place. What is that called? Anjanadri, I think. There is one small pond was there. So in the pond, so it was evening time and everybody were after class, I told, okay, you can take bath. So almost everyone became ready. And just before entering, there was just small announcement. Just be careful. There was a news and the local people are saying there was one crocodile inside. Then everybody was in utter fear. Till that time, everybody was very much trying to, okay, we'll enjoy the waters. But when we see that the crocodile is there inside, how much fear it is. So, but when we have strong boat, I mean, there is no any kind of fear. Of course, even crocodiles can topple the boats also, small boats. So then we need to be very careful. But when big ocean liners are there, then we don't need to no worry at all. No need to think at all. Ocean liners. So hearing about the Lord, taking shelter of the Lord is compared to ocean liner. It's like a huge mansions. Nowadays, ocean liners are like mansions. Everything is inside. So there is no question of even thinking about the crocodile toppling or coming. So Prabhupada explains about how this ocean, material world is like ocean, putting various things. More and more explanation. We continue. We can go to the purport. Guru Maharaj is therefore advised to take boat of the Lotus feet of the Lord to easily cross out all dangers. Dangerous elements in this universe are compared to sharks in the ocean. Even though one may be very expert swimmer, he cannot possibly survive if he is attacked by the sharks. So though one may be great, very expert swimmer and champion maybe, but still one will be, if he's attacked by all these crocodiles. Crocodiles are compared to all these sense enjoyment in various forms. Prabhupada says that one should be careful. One may be expert swimmer, that's okay, but one should take shelter. So one should seek shelter and one should take shelter. Then one will find shelter. Okay, we'll continue. So basically, till now, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Chitush Kumar, they glorified Prithu Maharaj and then they started answering his question at various levels. They gave understanding how one can detach from this world and attach to Krishna by processes. Especially they said how sense gratification, one is more and more entangled. So one should not be attached to sense gratification just like animals. One should rise by practicing four principles of dharma. Dharmartha kama moksha. After that, moksha is most important. One should focus his energy and time in the moksha element. And for that, they recommended some process, especially meditating on the Paramatma. And beyond that, very easy and very potent, both easy at the same time sublime and a very, very powerful process of bhakti is recommended. And they glorified, you are already doing, but we are just glorifying again. So they mentioned that. And now they concluded Maitreya Uvacha is giving some sangati or some connection. What happened after that? Saivam Brahmaputrena Kumarena Atmamedasa Darshitatma Gati Samyak Prasasyovacha Tam Nrupaha. Please read.
The great sage Maitreya continued, being thus enlightened in complete spiritual knowledge by the son of Brahma, one of the Kumaras, who was complete in spiritual knowledge, the king worshipped them in the following words.
So Prabhupada explains Atmamedha. Kumarena Atmamedasa. So these people are Atmamedasa. So then Prabhupada contrasts with Gruhamedi and Atmamedi. What he explains. So basically Medhi means center. One who goes around the Graha, making Graha only as a center and going around the Graha. Then it's called Gruhamedi. But one who is making Atma, the soul, basically spiritual knowledge, making center and going around is called Atmamedha. Basically. One is spiritual, one is spiritualist and one is materialist. So that's what Prabhupada mainly explains. So sannyasi can be Gruhamedi by mentality, internally. Karmendriyani sanyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimodhatma mityachara uchyate. So externally maybe sannyasi. Of course, it's not proper line. I'm just summarizing what Prabhupada mentioned there, that Gruhamedi and Atmamedha. So but a householder can be Atmamedha by consciousness, by maintaining a house, keeping Krishna center. So Atmamedha and Gruhamedi is explained. So then Maitreya, then Raja Uvacha. Prithu is expressing his gratitude now. Raja Uvacha, Kruto me anugraha purvam harina artanukampina tam apadayitum brahman bhagavan yuyam agataha. Continue.
Prabhuji, I have read 5. Can somebody wants to read? They can.
Somebody else want to go ahead?
He said, Brahmanas, O powerful ones, formerly Lord Vishnu showed me his causeless mercy, indicating that you would come to my house, and to confirm that blessing, you have all come.
So, Guru Maharaj is recollecting how Lord mentioned, and you are coming and, to confirm his blessings, to increase my faith, and you all have come. So that is glorifying. Executing promises, Prabhupada, beautiful purport he writes. Please, man, please read.
In other words, when the Lord makes a prediction, he fulfills that prediction through some of his devotees. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that both his glorious names and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra would be broadcast in all the towns and villages of the world. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur and Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada desires to fulfill this great prediction, and we are following in that teaching.
So basically predicted by Lord, and Lord fulfilled that prediction by sending Kumaras. That's what main text is saying. So taking the context of that, then proper explaining how Lord makes some promises or predictions, then he fulfills either himself or by through his devotees. So that's the main point, executing the promises. So we also try to execute our promises, what we give to spiritual master. So we make some commitments and we try to execute, we try to fulfill the commitments. So that commitment itself gives a protection. Last time we are trying to discuss that the commitment itself is a great protection for us. So the point is that the Lord himself could declare such things, but it was his desire to make declaration through Arjuna, then thus doubly assure that his promise would never be broken. So Lord makes promises and keeps his promise. Read this paragraph. The Lord himself promises.
The Lord himself promises and his confidential devotees execute the promise. The Lord makes so many promises for the benefit of suffering humanity. Although the Lord is very compassionate upon suffering humanity, human beings are generally not very anxious to serve him. The relationship is something like that between the father and the son. The father is always anxious for the welfare of the son, even though the son forgets or neglects the father.
So how Lord's special mercy is there? Just like Father example is given. Lord makes so many promises for the benefit of suffering humanity. As Gita, Prabhupada mentions many times. So out of compassion, so many manifestations of Lord to call all of us back to him. So Prabhupada explains, just like he appearing as different avatars, Buddha, Nrsimha, Krishna, giving Gita. These are all compassionate calls. Yes, please read conclusion, call for action.
Conclusion and call for action. The conclusion is that the Lord is so compassionate upon the fallen souls in this material world that he comes himself or sends his devotees and his servants to fulfill his desire to have all the fallen souls come back home after burning. Thus Lord Sri Krishna instructed Bhagavad to Arjuna for the benefit of the entire human society. Intelligent men should therefore seriously consider this Krishna consciousness movement and fully utilize the instructions of Bhagavad Gita as preached without adulteration by his devotees.
Prabhupada is very ardent in his appeal. Please take advantage of this moment and try to take it seriously. Many times, many classes also, he always urges everyone, please consider, please take it seriously. Krishna conscious movement. Try to understand it, try to apply it. So Lord is so compassionate upon the fallen souls within this material world that he comes himself, ascends his devotees, servants, fulfilling his desire. Krishna is always desiring that all the living entities come back to home, back to God. But as Prabhupada mentions, we are not very much anxious to go back as Krishna is desiring. Krishna is more desirous, anxious than we are. He writes in the purport also in first canto somewhere. So we need to increase our desire more and more. That's the main point. So Prabhupada Maharaj is saying that Lord desired or Lord predicted that he will come. So to increase my faith, you all came, or increase my, give me more and more association. So you all came here. So that's what he mentioned, Maharaj. Nishpaditascha kasnena bhagavadbhir घृणालुभिः साधुच्चिष्टं हि मे सर्वं आत्मना सह किं ददे.
My dear Brahmana, you have carried out the order thoroughly because you are also as compassionate as the Lord. It is my duty, therefore, to offer you something. But all I possess are but remnants of food taken by great saintly persons.
What shall I give? So here we can see how Prithu Maharaj wants to reciprocate, want to give some Guru Dakshina, because sages came and Prithu Maharaj welcomed and gave worship. And then after asking the question answer session was over, class is over. Now they are going and he want to give some gift, some Dakshina he wanted to give. But what is the internal mood of Prithu Maharaj? Are, what I have, how can I consider I have something? Just like Bali Maharaj was trying to give charity. Bhavan asked, "Oh, okay, you give me three steps." So Lord covered everything. So then Bali Maharaj could not say, I don't have anything to give. So there's the same mood. Prithu Maharaj here, he's thinking that I don't have anything. All the things are given to me by Brahmanas only. So that is explained by Acharyas and Prabhupada also. For Prithu Maharaj's internal feeling, he had like Vaman Dev forcefully taken away everything from Bali Maharaj, then he could understand, I don't have anything to give. But Prithu Maharaj is internally already having that kind of consciousness. I don't possess anything. What I have in my possession is all given by great souls. And how can I give that to them? So in that mood, I am only receiver, I am only beggar who received. How can I give them? So that kind of a mood he has. See, all I possess are the remnants of food taken by great saintly persons. Means all the great saintly persons only gave me. So beautiful example also Prabhupada gives. Let us. So please read this one.
Krishna gave all his wealth in charity at the end of his heart sacrifice. What remained he considered the remnants of the devotee. And even before that, he considered his kingdoms to have been given to him by the saintly persons headed by Prabhu, who turned his body from him later. Thus he possessed remnants.
The possess only remnants. Not only when the yajna, 100 sacrifices are over, then all his wealth is given to all brahmanas. So before that also, what is gained by is only because of Guru and all those personalities. They churned the body of Vaibhav and they gave me all the kingdom. That is sadhu chista. They gave me. How can I consider? How can I give like uchista to? The Prabhupada explains here that how. Here example again. Please read this one.
When a father is eating food, he may, out of compassion, offer the remnants of his food to his son. Although such food may be already stewed by the father, it cannot be offered to the father again. Prithu Maharaj's position was something like this. Whatever he possessed had already been chewed, and therefore he could not offer it to the Kumaras.
Indirectly.
Indirectly, however, he offered everything he possessed to the Kumaras, and consequently, they utilized his possessions in whatever way they liked. The next verse,
This is just his feeling. He's feeling, Hare, how can I, what I have. Basically, the mood is that what I have to offer. This is all remnants of the sages only. So that kind of mood he has. But still, whatever he has in the current position, he everything offered to them. Pranadara Sutta Brahman Grihascha Sa Parichadaha Rajyam Balam Mahi Posha Iti Sarvam Niveditam.
The king continued, therefore, my dear Brahmanas, my life, my wife, children, home, furniture, and households are familiar. My kingdom, strength, land, and especially my treasuries are all offered unto you.
So Prabhupada explains that this Dara word, many versions have Raya word. Dara and Raya, Prabhupada explains in this verse. Dara means wife and Raya means more of a rich person, riches. Wealthy persons are called riches. Wealthy persons are called Rai, Ramandara, etc. Prabhupada explains. So generally, Brahmanas are not given wife. So that's what Prabhupada clarifies here that not permitted to be offered to the Brahmanas. So everything is offered to worthy persons who are able to accept charity, but nowhere it is found that one offers his wife. Therefore, in this case, the reading Raya is more accurate than Dara. That's probably more elaborates on that point. So everything is offered to them. Atna Bhanda, Kosha, everything, whatever personal treasury. They have a public treasury in the sense, a personal treasury. They have their own internal treasury, jewels, etc. Everything is offered for service of the Kumaras. Please read this point, last point.
If it were actually the property of the Brahmana, how could it be offered again to them? In this regard, Sridhar Swami has explained that this offering is just like the servant's offering of food to his master. The food already belongs to the master, for the master has purchased it. But the servant, by preparing food, makes it acceptable to the master and thus offers it. In this way, everything belonging to Prithu Maharaj was offered to the Kumaras.
So both about food examples are given. So don't be confused about the first example. How can just like a father eating remnants, father's remnants, son is accepting, but son cannot offer to the father again. That kind of analogy just to mention that how can I offer remnants? This kind of a consciousness, thought. But again, he offered everything. So that is explained in this analogy by a different analogy. This is a different analogy itself, but it's also related to food only. That's like servant is given, master gives the ingredients, and servant prepares and offers again to the master. Wonderful, wonderful Bhogar Prasad. So in that sense, Prithu Maharaj offered again to the Kumaras. So that's the understanding is given in this explanation by Prabhupada. Basically, basic point is that how we are considering we are just nimitta matra, whatever we have in our possessions. So especially everybody has their own positions and positions. We are possessed by our positions and possessions. So we should be extremely careful that basically our identity has very much in touch with the positions and positions. We should not too much identify. Rather, we are trying to utilize everything in the service of the Lord. That's service of the Lord and service of the devotees, basically. So in that sense, Prithu Maharaj is exhibiting that kind of quality that he is internally convinced, internally realized that nothing, I don't possess anything. Everything is, I am a servant of the Lord. Even when you might have you might be remembering that just now you read, just now means previous section, where Prithu Maharaj is addressing the citizens. He says, I am just a representative of the Lord, Dandadhara. I am just holding the stick of punishment on the behalf of the Lord. Lord appointed me. He's not saying I am the Lord, just like King Vena said. So he's always conscious. That's a devotee's nature also, should be ideally. Then we are just like a nimitta matra. We are trying to serve the Lord with whatever we have, qualities, talent, skills, abilities. So all Krishna's special mercy. And we
In
try
one
to
sense, he
engage.
is God, but in one sense, he is God, but he is saying, I am not God.
Yeah. Yeah, Naradeva, king is considered Naradeva, is a god. But yeah, he's representative of God. In that sense, they are called Naradeva.
I mean to say, he is a Shaktavash avatar
Oh,
as a
okay, okay,
in
okay,
that
okay,
sense.
okay. In that sense, you are mentioning. Okay, I understood now. Oh, yeah. Buddha Maharaj is also Shikta Vaishnavar, correct. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's the mood of devotee. That is always, though he's empowered, just like Prabhupada mentioned somewhere that how though he's empowered, he doesn't consider himself as an empowered personality. That's the humility of personality. Okay, that is the quality of Apurva Maharaj is glorifying. Let's continue. Sainapatyam cha rajyam cha danda netritvam eva cha sarvalokaधिपत्यम cha veda shastravid arhati.
If a person is completely educated according to the principles of Vedic knowledge, deserves to be commander-in-chief, ruler of the state, the first to chastise, and the proprietor of the whole planet. Prithu Maharaj offered everything to the Kumaras.
So in this verse, it is very clearly stated that a kingdom, state, or empire must be governed under the instructions of saintly persons and brahmanas like Maharaj. So the verse is saying, Prithu Maharaj is only saying, he's saying in a third person, Sainyapatyam. cha rajyam cha danda netrutvam evacha. All these people, post of commander, post of a ruler, or sarva lokadhipatyam, all the proprietorship of all planets. Only those people are qualified. Arhati, who are qualified to take all these positions? Veda Shastra Vid. Only these people are qualified to take the position of these all these things. So in that sense, because I am representing the Lord, so I have been given this position. So I am offering whatever I have in my positions. So in that sense, he is offering to them. And so that is the means. And Prabhupada is coming to the point of how Prabhupada is more focused on who should take that positions. So one should Sarva Shastra with only those who are qualified, only those who have knowledge, or only those who are in line of parampara. So saintly persons, instructions of saintly persons and brahmanas like Kumaras, governing under brahmanas. So they are only qualified. Shastra, Veda Shastra with. So in that sense, so the Prabhupada is writing all purport. So should always, the king, president, or head of the state should always remember that he is not the proprietor but the servant, as we are just discussing. So in the present age, the king or president forgets that he is servant of God and thinks himself as servant of the people. So Prabhupada more about how a ruler should be, the king, Kshatriya should be under Brahmana. So because they give direction. So direction either by sadhu or shastra, both give direction. Sadhu gives because sadhu follows shastra. So the sadhus follow shastra. That's how they also guide kshatriyas. Prabhupada very much elaborates on all these communist people, etc. How they are doing own mental concoctions. But one should follow carefully. Otherwise one will incur all kinds of sins. One who can be a king, who cannot be a king. Prabhupada more elaborates on these verses, on these points. स्वयमेव ब्राह्मणो भुङ्क्ते स्वं वस्ते स्वं ददाति च तस्यैवानुग्रहेणान्नं भुञ्जन्ते क्षत्रियादयः.
The Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras eat their food by virtue of the Brahmanas' mercy. It is the Brahmanas who enjoy their own property, clothe themselves with their own property, and give charity with their own property.
So basically, Prithu Maharaj glorifying the quality of Brahmanas. I am under proper parampara. I am just trying to follow you or following the Supreme Lord. In that sense, is glorifying Brahmanas and the actual quality of the Brahmanas. So let's say, in actuality, everything in the world belongs to the Brahmanas. Out of their humility, the Brahmanas accept charity from Kshatriyas or the kings, and the Vaishyas are merchants. So everything belongs to Brahmanas means that everything belongs to Supreme Lord. And the Brahmanas are considered like a representative of Supreme Lord. Majorly. They are the direct representatives of the Supreme Lord. Real Brahmanas we are talking about. Prabhupada here also mentioning, since the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are direct servants of Supreme Lord, Godhead, they do not depend on others. That is supposed to be highest ideal platform Prabhupada is mentioning. Then Brahmanas accept out of humility from their whatever is there. Prabhupada gives a beautiful example. Please read this one.
Everything belongs to the Brahmanas, but the Kshatriya government and the mercantile people keep everything in custody, like banquets, and whenever the Brahmanas need money, the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas would supply. It is like a savings account with money which the depositor can draw out at his will.
So of course, it's an ideal situation, but even previously also it was quite difficult. Now also, anyway, there is no question only. So everything is in, especially in business class of people, commercial class of people, capitalist people, everything is captured. So why it's like that? The Brahmanas being engaged in service of the Lord have very little time to handle the finances of the world, and therefore the riches are kept by Kshatriyas or the kings who are to produce money upon the Brahmanas' demand. They always engaged in glorifying the Lord, serving the Lord, so they don't have much time to finance. So that's the ideal situation also in general. So that's how the society can run very peacefully also. And there also, especially when you apply the principle to ISKCON, especially the renounced order of people, is to be extremely careful dealing with the money, woman, and name and fame, these three. Otherwise, there will be a lot of chaos, and we have experienced so many experiences in ISKCON also, in the world itself also, especially when a Brahmana dealing with the money. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. They are more supposed to be with Shastra and direct, giving guidance, etc., etc. Engaged in service of the Lord more and more. And others are trying to manage other things. So the society can go ahead in very, very peaceful manner. Otherwise, it's always stumbling blocks will happen if one is not following the principles properly. So that's the Prabhupada main point. Okay, he explains more about how one need to, how all the four varnas are cooperate together and try to worship the Lord and advance together. That's Prabhupada last para explaining. Now this is one more wonderful verse which is very much quoted many times. How one actually feeling that kind of humility, gratitude, how I can repay the debt. Because Prithu Maharaj was feeling very much towards the Kumaras, they came and they bestowed special mercy and their association. What I can repay, what I can give you back. How can I even think about giving you to? What I'm trying to say, I'm giving my wealth, I'm giving all this. How can I repay? So finally, he's saying this point that though I am saying that I am giving this, I am giving that, but if I'm thinking that I am giving, then I'm just like Vinod Patram, I'm like a joker. So in that sense, he's saying this verse. एरितृषि भगवतो गतिरात्मवाद एकान्ततो निगमभिः प्रतिपादितान् तुष्यन्तभद्रकरुणा स्वकृतेन नित्यं को नाम तत्प्रतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम्. So ko nama tat pratikaroti. Pratikaroti means counteracts or giving back. Vinodapatram. If one is thinking that I can give back, I can repay the debt, then it's like a joker. So in that sense, yeah, please read.
Maharaj continues, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and very evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction? Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst human society out of their unlimited mercy.
How can we repay you? Please be satisfied with our own activities. Even Krishna mentions to gopis, I cannot repay. Napareham. How can I repay? You be satisfied with your own devotional service. So that's the mood here also. Guru Maharaj is saying that I cannot repay. How can such persons be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction? So that's the mode of, we cannot repay. Basically, Prabhupada focused on that point that it's impossible to repay. But Prabhupada also asked, how can we repay to you? Prabhupada said, you cannot. But at least you practice what I am giving and try to share with others. So that itself is a great activity of repayment. Great personality. Yeah, please read.
Great personalities of the material world are very eager to render welfare service to the human society. But actually, no one can render better service than one who distributes the knowledge of spiritual realization in relation with the Supreme Personality of God.
First, Prabhupada is focusing on how these personalities are giving Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. So they're all distributing this wonderful knowledge. So who can be the best benefiters or well-wishers other than those who are giving knowledge of the Supreme Lord, spiritual realization. Everybody want to render service. What is the real welfare? That's what Prabhupada is more focusing on initial part. He's writing beautiful lines here about that point. Please read.
Knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift that it is impossible to repay the benefactor. Therefore, Prithvi Maharaj requested the Kumaras to be satisfied by their own benevolent activities in delivering souls from the clutches of Maya.
So amazing line that how out of many charities so many charities people are doing, but knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift. It is impossible to repay the benefactor. So we also receive so many, knowledge of Krishna, practically everything from spiritual master. And it's impossible to repay, but at the same time, we, at least whatever we have taken, the commitments and the vows that we have taken, we try to fulfill them and try to practice and share with others. That itself is considered like a, not repayment in general, but at least expressing gratitude, try to reciprocate in some way. So that is only mood, internal mood such that we cannot repay at all, even millions of lifetimes. Otherwise, we are considered, if one thinks that, okay, I can just give some money and it's done. No, it's like Vinodha Patram. Vinodha Patram is like a joker. But two meanings are given. Vinodha Patram means, so can be understood one word, Vinodha Patram, which means joker. Vina and Udapatram, or can be understood one word, Vinodha Patram. So Vina Udapatram, here Udapatram means like a, just like we can at least take, the translation mentions this mood of that over. First Sandhi. Vina Udapatram, proper translate here. Be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. Just this much, take water and offer them. So that is only can be possible. Otherwise, it's not possible at all. And another meaning is like, if you think, then it's only Vinodha Patram, it's only a joker. So a laughing stock. So the conclusion is,
The best friend and benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original Krishna consciousness.
the best friend and benefactor, all people in general. Prabhupada writes in his letters every time ends with your ever well-wisher. So Prabhupada also mentioned in one letter that why I'm writing to one in regards to one devotee is writing that writing ever well-wisher means I don't have any kind of envy to anyone. So the time one problem happened, the devotee left movement. But Prabhupada explaining that though he may left the movement, but still I am always thinking of him. That's why I write my letters ever well-wisher. Means I am always wishing, trying to welcome them anytime if they want to come back. So that's Prabhupada mentioned. Maitreya Uvacha. So now Prabhupada, our Prithvi Maharaj expressed his gratitude. How can I repay you? So it's all this kind of a very internal moods. These are all very, very subtle devotional aspects, Vaishnava etiquettes, the moods especially. How a Vaishnava thinks, a devotee thinks basically in general. What is our mood in reciprocating with the superiors or spiritual masters, etc. Maitreya Uvacha ta atmayogapataya adirajena pujitaha shilam tadiyam samsantaha ke bhavan meshatam ranam.
The great sage Maitreya continues, being thus worshipped by Maharaj Prithu, the four Kumaras, who were masters of devotional service, became very pleased. Indeed, they appeared in the sky and praised the character of the king, and everyone observed them.
So now they are leaving. Satish Kumar, they are just traveling in the sky. So they came down. So Prabhupada explaining about that aspect of how demigods cannot touch the service, never touch the earth, and how these siddhas of Satish Kumar, they are staying in the sky. And everybody could see. And Prithvi Maharaj had the capacity to bring them by the grace of Prithu Maharaj, the common citizens in his domain could see the Kumaras flying in outer space. So that's he explains. Glorious Prithu Maharaj. He attracted even great personalities to his kingdom. So in that sense, that was his explained how basically Kumaras are living after the glorification. Vainyastu dhuryo mahatam samstityadhyatma shikshaya aptakamam ivatmanam mena atmanyavastitah.
Amongst great personalities, Maharaj Prithu was the chief by virtue of his fixed position in relation to spiritual enlightenment. He remained satisfied as one who has achieved all success in spiritual understanding.
Read first paragraph, highlight portion.
Remaining fixed in devotional service gives one the utmost self-satisfaction. Actually, self-satisfaction can be achieved only by pure devotees who have no desire other than to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to desire, he is fully satisfied within himself.
So, fixed in his position in relation to the spiritual enlightenment. So, whatever, though he has all over the rule, see, he just now got Yajna was over, that 100 Yajna was over, and the Lord came and blessed him. And after Lord gave instructions, and then Lord went. And then Prithu Maharaj giving instructions to citizens, and then in between giving instructions, Satish Maharaj came, and all this conversation happened. Now Satish Maharaj is going. Now Prithu Maharaj again taking up the rule as a king. So still, generally when he gets a kingdom, then one may be puffed up, one may be changing his colors by post and position. But because he is fixed up in spiritual enlightenment, fixed up in his position, he is not at all disturbed or deviated from this position. So that's the main point of this verse. He is fixed up. So that happens now. Generally, when we have post positions in our institute also, so many posts and positions are given for the sake of institute. But one should remain fixed in our spiritual practices and the spiritual. The more we are rooted in our spiritual activities, the less we are disturbed by external changes. Whether post is there or not. Tarangarangani we are discussing. These are all material benefits that will come along with post, etc., etc. So the more we need to be fixed up in our spiritual understanding, spiritual practices, then we are less disturbed by external changes, whatever it may be. Of course, I mean, everybody may not have post positions in our institute also, but whatever area of influence we have, so we need to see that we are responsible at the same time. We are not attached or disturbed by the changes. So that's how Prithu Maharaj is very much fixed up in his ruling. So, and his qualities now they will be explaining. Karmani cha yatha kalam, yatha desham, yatha balam, yathochitam, yatha vittam, akarod brahma sat kritam.
Being self-satisfied, Maharaj Prithu executed his duties as perfectly as possible according to the time and situation, strength and financial position. His only aim in all his activities was to satisfy the absolute truth. In this way, he knew no action.
Samsiddhi haritoshanam, varnashrama chatara, purushena parapumam, nanyat tosha karanam. I think that the third line is there, that how one should please the Supreme Lord. So whatever, all the activities of Varnashrama also, as a king who is maintaining all the Varnashrama, king is supposed to see all the ashramas are maintained properly, and the goal is to please the Supreme Lord. So activities are satisfying Supreme Lord. So his aim is that one. One should keep the aim, that is the main aim of our devotion service, just to try to please the Lord in every way, whatever way we are trying to, whatever we do. So our aim is to please the Lord. So Maharaj Prithu did not allow himself to function outside the institution of four varnas and ashramas, although as a Vaishnava he was Paramahamsa, transcendental to all activities. He remained at his position as a Kshatriya to rule the world, at the same time remained in transcendental position, remained transcendental to such activities by satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is remained in that position. So as a king he is following, dutiful. Palam Brahmani Sanyasya Nirvisanga Samahita Karma Cha Manvana Atmanam Prakrute Param.
Maharaj Prithu completely dedicated himself to be an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, transcendental to his material nature, to material nature. Consequently, all the fruits of his activities were dedicated to the Lord, and he always thought of himself as the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of everything.
Read the lines.
The life and dedication of Maharaj Prithu in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead serve as a good example of Karma.
Basically, Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmana Va Kurute Swabhava, that we read generally in one verse in Vishnu Sahasranam also. In Bhagavatam also it comes with slight variation. Everything basically dedicated to service of the Lord. That's how he is fixed in the remembrance of the Lord, in the service of the Lord, thinking he is the servant and Supreme Lord is the master. So Prabhupada explains all the activities of bhakti. So in one's home or in temple, the deity is considered the proprietor of everything and everyone is considered deity's eternal servant. So in that sense, we need to always practice this point of how is the Supreme Lord is the Supreme and I am just trying to serve. So Prabhupada explains all these wonderful explanations, how he is considering himself as a servant, how one should dedicate everything to the service of the Lord. A dedicated devotee should prosecute his work according to the rules and regulations described in devotional service. The results of his activities are completely dependent on the supreme will of the Lord. Doing our best and leaving the rest to Krishna. Okay, now from here onwards, I think more of our qualities will explain. We will see how 56, 62. So now his progeny will be explained. He is not at all affected. He is always in the mood. Prithu has always thought of himself servant of the Lord, who is proprietor of everything. Everything is dedicated to him. So he is unaffected. Although Prithu was householder possessing kingdom wealth, he never used for his opulence, never used his opulence for sense gratification. Unaffected, just like a sun. Yeah, this is a beautiful verse. I think in the next class, half an hour, we'll complete this one. Maybe I should not too much rush also. But it will take maybe half an hour just to complete this slokas. Explaining the qualities of Akruta Maharaj, mainly. How he is like all these wonderful qualities are explained compared to him, and finally, like Ramaraja, people were remembering it's like Ramaraja only. Okay, we pause here for the today. Andrashmad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.